Good evening, you're now with me, Henry, for TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Indian rescuers just 5 meters away from reaching 41 workers trapped in collapsed tunnel for over 2 weeks. 13-year-old teen remanded for attempted robbery. And Sarawak strive as global supply chain player. Indian rescue teams digging by hand are now within mere 5 meters away of the 41 workers who have been trapped in a collapsed road tunnel for over 2 weeks. Faced with several setbacks in the rescue operation, military engineers and skilled miners have resorted to digging by hands through rock and rubble toward the men.
With some 5 meters of rubble remain, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand State Pushkar Singh Dhami told reporters that the operation is expected to be completed soon as rescue efforts entered their 17th day. Without giving a specific time frame, he is raising hopes the end is in sight for the marathon operation. However, previous hopes of reaching the man have been dashed by falling debris and the breakdown of multiple drilling machines. The government has repeatedly warned that timelines are subjected to technical glitches, the challenging Himalayan terrain, and unforeseen emergencies.
A 13-year-old boy has been arrested by the police for allegedly attempting to rob an e-hailing driver in Taman Keladi, Kedah at around 6 p.m. on Monday. And according to Kuala Muda District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Zaidi Che Hassan, the suspect had tried to stab the 65-year-old driver with a knife and attempted to snatch the cash from his shirt pocket. Fortunately, the victim did not suffer any injuries.
Zaidi added that the victim managed to fend for himself and grabbed hold of the knife by biting the suspect's hand. According to the victim, he initially received a ride order from the passenger through an e-hailing app with a pickup address at Long Keladi 12 with destination towards Lorong Astana 97 in Bandar Sri Astana. However, along the journey, the suspect then asked to borrow 50 ringgit from the victim to pay his house rent. The victim said if he did not have the money, he would have to drop off the suspect on the spot, but the suspect refused and asked to be brought to the house in Bandar Sri Astana to collect money and pay for the transport service. Zaidi added that the teen has since been tracked down and arrested at about 10 p.m. following a report lodged by the victim. The suspect is being remanded for a day to facilitate investigation under Section 393 of the Penal Code for attempted robbery.
Sarawak strives to become a major player in the global halal market, particularly to meet the demands of the halal goods and services that is estimated to rise with global spending hitting $2.8 trillion by 2025. This was said by the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, during the gala dinner held in conjunction with the Global Muslim Business Forum 2023. To get more insights, we cross to our reporter Yusuf Shukri, who is currently at the Borneo Convention Center, Kuching BCCK. Over to you.
Thank you, Andy, in the studio, and you're right. The global expanding, I would say, would be expected to be hit at $2.8 trillion by 2025, and that is why our Premier, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, wants to be part of the supply chain of the Muslim economies to provide not just halal food and services, but also to address global challenges such as climate change and also food security. Right now, as you may know, Sarawak is very hyper-focused in developing its infrastructure to provide halal food and services. because Bang Johari, he has emphasized the use of technology and innovation, as well as to actually produce food, halal food and services. That's why also we have actually established a permanent food production zones and agro parks known as the Halal Hub. Now, this area will bring together cutting-edge technologies and sustainable practices to produce halal food for the world. And of course, in terms of energy production globally, the usage of clean energy, or as we call it, green energy, such as the sustainable aviation fuel, what do you call that? Hydrogen, solar, and wind. All these play an integral role to fulfill Sarawak's dream of becoming the forefront player of the global supply chain. Now, besides the Premier's address just now, our Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim also said a few things that I would like to tell the audience, because he said he called upon all of the participants, be it local or international, to take an innovative approach in improving Islamic finance beyond keeping it halal, or rather riba free, but resolving inequalities, financial inequalities due to capitalism, not in Malaysia per se, but globally. And also Anwar took the opportunity to actually announce that today is a special day for the unity government, because today marks the first anniversary of the government, and Anwar, he actually took the opportunity to express gratitude to the Premier of Sarawak, who is also the president of Gabungan Parti Sarawak, because GPS plays an integral role in establishing, or rather having a politically stable government that enables Sarawak to actually host a prestigious event like this. That's all the report that I can present to you right now. For the full report, make sure you tune in on our official website at www.tvstv.my. I'm Yusuf Shukri with my videographer, Awak Asmel, for TVS Kuching. Thank you.
The development of the craft sector in Sarawak is set to be more coordinated with the commencement of Sarawak Craft Council Ordinance, which was gazetted on May 30th, 2023. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said the Sarawak Craft Council, SCC, is expected to announce its organisation structure and its operations funding by the first quarter of 2024, with the announcement of its first Chief Executive Officer, CEO.
Meanwhile, Karim also revealed that the global handicraft market would reach $789 billion in 2023 from $752 billion in 2022.
Sarawak recorded total sales of ringgit Malaysia 21.5 million in 2022, and as of October 2023, the total sales is ringgit Malaysia 18.3 million. Kraft Tangan Malaysia reported as of 31st of August 2023, the market size has increased by 20% as compared to 2022, with sales increasing from ringgit Malaysia 186.4 million in 2022 to ringgit Malaysia 223.6 million in 2023 during the corresponding period from January to August.
In addition, Sarawak also reported an increase in the number of registered crafts producers in Sarawak from 1,096 in 2022 to 1,195 in 2023.
A total of 104,804 Sarawakians now possess Endowment Fund Sarawak EFS account since its implementation on January 1st, 2019 until October 31st, 2023. Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Minister Sarawak, Datuk Seri Fatimah Abdullah, stated that this initiative involved an allocation of 104.8 million ringgit.
According to Fatima, the Simpan Untuk Masa Depan Emas program, which encourages saving for the future, aligns with EFS implementation to ensure every child in Sarawak has savings by the age of 18.
Kanak-kanak telah menunjukkan peningkatan daripada RM62,644 pada 26 Jun 2023 yang melibatkan 2,487 kanak-kanak di 91 buah IPAKK kepada RM226,015 pada 31 Oktober 2023 melibatkan 2,587 kanak-kanak di 100 buah IPAKK.
Commenting on the subsidies for childcare and early childhood education fees introduced by the Sarawak government in 2023, Fatimah mentioned that 1,848 children have already benefited from this subsidy, involving an expenditure of RM1.75 million. She added that this initiative would continue in 2024 with an allocation of RM2.5 million benefiting 2,500 children. Meanwhile, addressing the Kenyalang Gold Card KGC initiative, Fatimah stated that since 2020, 269,777 senior citizens in Sarawak now hold the card. And this figure includes 13,984 who registered during the digital exhibition in commemoration of Sarawak's 60th independence. She further noted that 15,285 beneficiaries of KGC holders who passed away received a total death gratuity assistance (BIK) of RM45.86 million. In addition, Fatimah mentioned that the government has allocated RM99,563,500 to assist 20,512 recipients through the scheme Bantuan Warga Emas.
Now, the second session of the 19th Sarawak State Legislative Assembly June sitting enters its 7th day today, and among today's highlights include the involvement of athletes and officials in the Malaysia Games Sukma 2024 Sarawak from 17 to 24 August 2024. For more details, let's hear it from Ahmad Azlan Shah.
Thank you, Handy. Right now, I'm at the Dewan Undangan Negeri Sarawak, where we just wrap up the 7th day of the sitting. So, the Ministry of Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Sarawak is set to revolutionize paddy cultivation in the state. According to its Minister, Datuk Seri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, all farming infrastructure will now be developed entirely by the Sarawak Department of Irrigation and Drainage, DID, while the Sarawak Department of Agriculture, DOA, will focus on paddy planting.
Dr. Speaker, the present approach in providing infrastructure for paddy cultivation is still using conventional approach, where the basic infrastructure is developed by DID Sarawak, while the tertiary infrastructure developed and paddy cultivation is under DOA, Department of Agriculture Sarawak, which found to be ineffective.
He also mentioned that his ministry has proposed suitable areas in the state to be exclusively designated for paddy cultivation. Rundi revealed that over 30 existing DID schemes throughout Sarawak, initially developed for paddy cultivation, covering an estimated area of more than 10,000 hectares, have been identified. And meanwhile, the Sarawak Veterinary Department and Immune Belt Enforcement, IBET, have successfully vaccinated over 36,900 or 92% of dogs throughout Sarawak in an effort to curb the rabies outbreak in the state. Datuk Seri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, the Minister of Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Sarawak, stated that 40,000 dogs are targeted to be vaccinated by the end of this year.
Based on the State Health Department statistics, Sarawak recorded 15 deaths from 17 rabies. in 2023. Since 2017, 72 human rabies cases and 65 deaths, and 90% mortality were reported. There are over 100 animal rabies cases detected yearly.
So IBET continues to monitor the movement of stray dogs, conducting surveillance and vaccination alongside the Sarawak Veterinary Department, DVSS. He added that dog vaccination is mandatory under Section 40, Veterinary Public Health Ordinance 1999. Owners allowing their dogs to roam freely on the streets will be fined of not exceeding than 2,500 ringgit under Section 37, Veterinary Public Health Ordinance 1999 as well. And now on to the last one. The Sarawak government has approved an allocation of 3 million ringgit for the operation of the Sarawak Early Intervention Centre, or SEIC, in 2024. According to Datuk Seri Fatimah Abdullah, the Minister of Women, Children and Community Welfare Development Sarawak, this underscores the state government's commitment to ensuring that children with special needs receive appropriate intervention.
Setakat 31 Oktober 2023, sejumlah 476 kanak-kanak berdaftar di OSIK Sarawak Matang, manakala 40 kanak-kanak di OSIK Sarawak Dalat, iaitu OSIK model luar bandar pertama yang ditubuhkan. Pada tahun 2023, OSIK Sarawak telah melaksanakan 2 outreach programs di Kuching, manakala 1 di Mukah, Dalat dan Oyak bagi memperkenalkan perkhidmatan OSIK dan meningkatkan kesedaran dan pengetahuan mengenai cara menjaga kanak-kanak berkeperluan khas yang disertai seramai 20 guru dan 380 ibu bapa yang mempunyai anak-anak berkeperluan khas.
OSEIC has also partnered with Sarawak General Hospital, the Sarawak Social Welfare Department, as well as the Sarawak State Education Department. So that's all that I can report on the 7th day. Tomorrow will be the last day of the Dune sitting. My name is Ahmad Azlan Shah with videographer Aziz Soleh. Back to you.
Without enough qualified social workers, people with disabilities who are already marginalized might become more vulnerable to other social issues.
Hello there and welcome back. Now, the third phase of the humanitarian Ops Ihsan aid to Gaza, Palestine is expected to leave on December 17th. Deputy Foreign Minister Datuk Muhammad Al-Amin said the humanitarian mission comprises 60 tons of necessities, most of which will be medical supplies.
He was answering a supplementary question from Senator Hussein Ismail in the Dewan Negara earlier today on consistent steps and efforts taken by the Foreign Ministry to implement the Malaysian humanitarian hub at the border of Rafah in Egypt to launch humanitarian aid and Gaza volunteers.
Jadi saya ingin menjemput kepada mana-mana ahli yang berhormat yang ada ke lapangan pada 17 Disember akan datang, sama-sama kita lancarkan dan melepaskan penerbangan ketiga bantuan kemanusiaan kita yang akan kita buat di LCCT KLIA, insyaAllah.
According to him, Malaysia's first shipment of aid involving 20 tons of medical supplies, baby items and food arrived in Gaza on November 10th, while the second phase of 16 tons of relief goods arrived in Egypt on November 11th. Meanwhile, he said tomorrow, November 29th, Malaysia will again participate and deliver the national statement at the high-level open debate on the situation in the Middle East, including questions on Palestine at the United Nations Security Council, UN. This, according to him, clearly proves that Malaysia has always given solid support to the rights of the Palestinian people on all platforms and in international organizations so that the atrocities of the Zionist regime can be stopped and the region will achieve continued peace.
Mobile network operator MNO and Digital National Berhad DNB have yet to sign the Share Subscription Agreement SSA. Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fadzil said this is due to some unresolved matters in regards to the agreement.
I met with them on, on Friday, last Friday. We have shared the draft of the share subscription agreement on Monday, and I think we're finalizing one or two details today. So inshallah, I hope to be able to ink the agreement very, very soon.
He said this to the media after the National Berhad Planet Cyber 2023 program on Tuesday. While not elaborating on the details, Fahmi hopes that the agreement can be signed soon. On November 17th, Fahmi reportedly stated that the DNB SSA would be signed by MNO within a week. Meanwhile, in regards to the second entity under the dual-mode Malaysia network model, Fahmi reiterated that its formation will be announced by the government when the current DNB network achieves 80% population coverage.
Either the MNOs come to a mutual agreement as to which MNOs will be in entity A or B, or the final arbiter that will decide will be MCMC.
For the record, the coverage of the 5G network reached 73% by the end of October. Previously, it was reported that 5 MNOs, Celcom Digi Berhad, Maxis Berhad, Telekom Malaysia Berhad, U-Mobile Sdn Berhad and YTL Communications Sdn Berhad have agreed to participate in DNB's equity to support the development of the national 5G network.
Now, Indonesia, the world's third largest democracy, kicked off its 2024 presidential campaign on Tuesday with 3 candidates vying to lead the Southeast Asian archipelago. The election due in February will determine who will succeed the incumbent President Joko Widodo, serving his second and final term.
The 3 contenders for the February 14th election are former Army General Prabowo Subianto, former Governor of Central Java Ganjar Pranowo, and ex-Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan. Subianto, 72, is making his third bid for the presidency after losing to Widodo in 2014 and 2019. The leader of the Great Indonesia Movement Party is running with Gibran Rakabuming, 36, the eldest son of Widodo and the mayor of Solo, a city in central Java where Widodo began his political career. Pranowo, 55, is a senior member of the ruling Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle. His running mate is Muhammad Mahfud Mat, 66, a former Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court and the current Coordinating Minister for Political, Legal and Security Affairs. Meanwhile, Baswedan, 54, is the former Governor of Jakarta and a former Education Minister. He is running as an opposition candidate with the support of 3 parties. His running mate is Muhaimin Iskandar, 57, the chairman of the National Awakening Party and a former Minister of Manpower and Transmigration. The campaign period will last until February 10th, with voting day on February 14th. If no candidate pair wins more than 50% of votes, with at least 20% of votes spread over more than half of the provinces, a runoff will be held on June 26 between the top 2 pairs. Indonesia has about 205 million eligible voters who, on February 14th, will also elect members of local legislative bodies across the country.
The Loy Krathong Festival, or the Floating Basket Festival, is an ancient tradition celebrated by Thailand since ancient times. In modern times, however, it has created a major problem for the waterways in Bangkok, clogged by offerings usually made using materials such as plastic and polystyrene. Fortunately, awareness over the festival's environmental impact has prompted authorities via the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration (BMA) to take a fresh approach to this centuries-old tradition with a digital version of the festival.
Instead of constructing elaborate offerings, this year participants were asked to color drawings of krathongs either on their phones or on paper, which will then be scanned, then projected on the city's Ong Ang Canal.
คือประเพณียังคงอยู่เหมือนเดิมแต่ว่าเรามีการบูรณาการแล้วก็ปรับเปลี่ยนให้ตามยุคตามสมัยเพื่อที่จะให้การเกิดมลภาวะมลพิษต่างๆเนี่ยมันลดน้อยลงครับ
BMA stated that about 3,700 images were projected across the nighttime waters. The festival's digital initiative was also extended in Klong Ong Ang.
Secondly, we launched online Katong project in Klong Ong Ang, and we can see that it's getting a lot of attention, especially amongst young people.
However, the digital festival did not get as much attention as the traditional celebration, as City Council removed more than 600,000 traditional krathongs across Bangkok.
และอีกอย่างนึงเราจะได้สืบสานวัฒนธรรมต่อไปเรื่อยๆรุ่นลูกรุ่นหลานเพราะถ้าเราไม่สืบสานรุ่นลูกหลานเหลนเราก็จะไม่เห็นแบบนี้ถูกไหม
Once the offerings are collected, it will be sorted with biodegradable elements and turned into compost, while plastics will be sent to landfill. Bangkok authorities stated that in the past, 15 to 20% of the offerings will block Bangkok waterways, but has decreased to 5% in recent years.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the updates for TVS Nightline. I'm Henry. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.